Right. So with that turning a little bit more ranty and controversial.
I know I did go off on one then, so I do apologise.
Yeah.
Not really. No, I'm glad I got my point across. So
Right,
stop
something
it.
a bit more
go ahead.
jovial.
Go on.
As kind of well-known draw bags,
Draw
you
bag.
two,
I'm looking
I'm not
right at
including
him.
myself in this, I'd never draw good pegs.
Richard,
I'm frightened in a minute.
you are
like
scary. It's
frightening,
amazing though,
Honest to God.
because you're getting us lots of pennies.
That's a minute. But yeah, we're going to have...
The best peg
Best pegs
you've ever
we've
drawn.
ever drawn.
Yeah.
Right.
To be fair,
right.
this would be a podcast just for me that lasts 12 days if I went through
I reckon it
everything.
could go on longer, mate. I reckon it could go all year with yours. Blooming heck.
We've had some scary ones, haven't
Do
we?
you, want- you do yours first, Rich. We'll
No.
go in Strawberry. No?
No, you go first.
Right, go ahead then. So I'm going to say peg 2 on Pine.
Partridge Lakes.
Partridge Lakes before they sort of reshaped it, and we'll tell you why when we start going on about it. So, yeah, peg 2, Pine, Partridge Lakes. Basically, what it is, you've got like your own little lake, pretty much.
Your
haven't
own
you?
little pond.
Oh, you
haven't
did have. It's obviously it's changed now.
I've just...
Go ahead.
I might just swap my best peg because I've just
Oh,
thought
yeah.
of another one I
Oh,
had. I'm going to
flipping heck, here
talk
we go.
about
Do
two.
you know what I mean, folks? How we can do one like pretty much every day. So yeah, basically you've got like your own little pond. It's like peg one's. It's not even in really
Peg
a
one
peg
didn't
because it was
exist.
like had a rope across
It was
didn't
always
it?
even numbers.
Yeah, it was
how
always
the
even
old-
numbers,
it was just
and it
peg
was
it.
sort of like I'm going to say it was like I don't want to say
It was
what
a snake
shape
lake with
was.
a. It was a snake lake with a pond on
What's
the
the
end.
ball? It's
What?
like a ball on
So
the
it
end,
looked
though,
like
wasn't
a
it?
thermometer.
Yeah, it
That's the
was.
one.
That's
I
how the
was-
lake was, a thermometer.
I was going to say something else, Richard, but yeah, I'm glad you said that, mate. So
Yeah,
it's like so I was in like the
With
main
just one
bowl
on the end.
of the thermometer.
In the thermometer, you just get thermometer.
Were you thinking of two on the end?
I was in yeah.
Oh, have you got one?
Hey up, go ahead, Jay, lad, give us a go, mate. So I was in like the bowl of this thermometer, if you like. So then it narrowed up like out to my left, and basically this day, Mava qualifier, I had I'm going to say it was like 22 metres wide, Jay. Yeah.
No,
Bit wider?
I'm having further than that. Yeah, I reckon it was 30 metres.
All right,
was a
whatever
big
it
old
was
ball.
anyway. Someone had obviously been pleasure fishing on it like days previous to it, and they'd gone out and like made sort of like a 2 metre gap. So like thick reeds, like pretty much like on here on Arena, thick reeds.
Made a
and
mud
then
line for you.
Mud line, flat banking, absolutely perfect. Like bearing in mind, folks, no one really fishes a method on this lake. It was all like pole fishing and that. So I've set method up.
I reckon it's a
Caught
skimmer.
like, oh, there's some big skimmers in.
No, it's not. It's not.
No, it's not
It's a
skimmer.
cat.
I pretty much caught one a chuck for an hour whilst I was loose feeding casters to fish shallow. And I've also had like reeds knocking because it was like it's quite early. I'm going to say it was like
We're down the edge, they've been knocking.
yeah, it was like end of April, so they're like thinking about spawning. So like I've gone down the edge, caught one a chuck for an hour down there, and then I've gone shallow and I've caught one a chuck for 3 hours. Now it wasn't like massive fish; it was like odd little road. I think there was odd chub in there as well. Go ahead. Is that the same one you just put back?
No, he's a
No,
sexy
he's
one,
smaller. He's nicer than that. He's come round from the
Wasn't the
fit
other
gang.
one a mirror and that's a common?
No, there was a
No, they're
comment.
both
Was it?
commons. He's come round from the fit gang over
Both
there. hasn't he?
popular.
It's popular carp. Come on, the populars. So we've gone shallow. We've had one a chuck for 3 hours on that, and that's when I did. I didn't have any bands to do banded caster. Do you know what
Yeah,
I
I
did?
bet your bandicast didn't exist then, did it?
I think it
Maybe
did,
just.
but
yeah.
I didn't have any. So I just literally just hooked a caster on. I didn't even have to slap it. I just laid it in,
Did you?
and like
Old
I
school.
didn't even have to, as I said, slap it. The fish were just hooking themselves anyway, and I had a float on and everything. I was doing it proper. And it was just a phenomenal match. The covies fished really hard. £70 was the best weight off all the covies, and I've had £114. And that
yeah.
qualified me for the first Mava match.
Did it?
And it was just one of them days. And like, I don't know if you remember then, like the offices. Remember Dave Eichen? He had the offices were like right behind it, and I had a crowd of people watching.
I had
me used to work
exactly,
there.
it was like
They
a
come out and
bowling
watch
green
me.
behind you.
Yeah, that's it.
I had that exactly as you say, peg standard. But yeah, there's like a bowling green. Behind you, want it?
You're not going to talk about that one, are you?
No, I'm going to leave that one. 'cause you
Right,
talked
so
about
I
that
can
one.
talk about it now. So Jay went and drew the same peg,
Oh, right.
probably a year later, and then pretty much after that, they completely changed pine because it won every match. And
No,
me
I
and
think,
him
I
drew
think
it.
they had to. I think there was a crack in the bank or something.
No, it's because we kept drawing it.
Well, that as well.
Literally, it's like it was like you basically had a lake to yourself. It
You
was
did have a
such
pond
good
to
peg.
yourself.
It was amazing. Everything I did on that day, or you do any, and it just worked. And there's so many fish there.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that you had people watching you and like make yourself look amazing. It's just so good.
It was a strange
I
peg
think
to
Nelly's
have,
still
like,
got a
wasn't
picture of that winning shot in his little hut.
Has he?
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Yeah,
Where the
definitely.
heck's that one, dear?
It was so good. But that's mine.
When was that?
2012.
2012. Oh, yeah, I wasn't-
When who won the final? Les Thompson won the major final that year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did he?
You wouldn't have been born then, Rich.
I wasn't match fishing at that point.
No, he
You were
was
carping then,
fat
weren't you?
and went carp fishing then.
Was you on your you was on
Yeah.
your chocolate digestive
Yeah.
then, weren't you, mate?
Lots of biscuits because you're
Yeah, boy.
bored because you're catching out. But that probably leads us on to
What do you want
mine,
to go?
doesn't it?
Go on, you
Go
do it.
ahead.
yeah,
Richard?
go mine in the middle.
Yeah.
So the peg is going to be peg 5 on Cops Lake at Coleman's Cottage, which
Nice.
isn't really a fish isn't a match fishery as such now, is
it's
it?
all
gone
changed, isn't
kind of
it?
a club lakey
Oh,
strange
was it?
one.
Oh, right, okay, good.
But yeah, obviously,
Lake, isn't it?
yeah. So it was because I was working at MAP at the time, living in Milton Keynes. That was one of the venues. It's probably like just over an hour, but they had massive winter leagues on every year, like 90 to 100 pegs. So it's one that was worth travelling to.
yeah.
And Cops is a bit of a strange lake on there. It's sort of, you've got your 3 wood,
Is it Pathfield or something?
Pathfield and Stepfield,
Stepfield.
which are your sort of main match lakes. And Cops is sort of tucked away. It's a bit of a pleasure lake, and they don't usually put it in except on big
Is
matches.
it like over like through a wood and over a
No,
road?
no,
or
that's a
something?
different one. Oh, I can't remember what that's called. Cottage or
They
something
put that in
silly.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, but they only put it in on the Fisho qualifiers for
lad.
the extra pegs and
Didn't really whack that
occasionally in other big matches.
Yeah.
But it was becoming a bit of a running theme. Actually, they had it in the winter leagues, and whenever they put it in, I could guarantee that I was drawing
You
peg
draw
5
it.
on Cops. It was like ridiculous. Like whenever it was in, straight away, job done. And
So was it like in why was it such a good peg? Were you like tucked
I
away
don't-
in a corner or was
it
it
was-
an island or?
it's I
Very
don't know why.
individual on its own, wasn't it? Like Islands, like kept it as just that peg.
Yeah, you've got a bit of space. The thing is on there because it's more of a pleasure lake. The fish are bigger.
Right.
And
And what was it, carp, not F1s?
Yeah, pretty much all carp. There's the odd F1, but mainly decent carp, sort of 4 to 8 pound sort
Yeah.
of size. And it was just one of those pegs that, especially at that time of year, if you could get it on the first warm day when it was a mugging day, it was just ridiculous because
Yeah.
you were having to get half the amount of bites compared to wood. And
Right.
because of the way it was pegged and everything, you always had a bit more space. And because I didn't get fish for as much, they were just stupid for that first few months or first month or so. And that generally coincided with the first Fisho qualifier of the year because it's always
I
similar sort of
remember.
time.
Oh, it was
remember that.
April time.
I remember the phone call off it was
And-
Yeah, I do.
But,
I remember as well.
That
Amazing.
was genuinely first ever Fisho qualifier,
Yeah.
wasn't it? So it was. I've been at obviously when I started at Leader, pretty
Been
much
out with
all
us, haven't you?
all carp fishing. Then
Yeah.
started doing a bit of map filming and thought, that can't be that difficult. We'll give it a go. So yeah, and I'd been doing like the odd open match and stuff like that, and I think you probably convinced us to have a go at that and buy some tickets and give it a go. And it was local venue, so you think, we'll have a go.
Yeah.
But it was one of those before the draw. You knew that five Cops it won qualifiers in the past. It was
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of those.
And
pegs.
Ross won one off it. Or was that after you?
No, Ross had won before.
Had he?
I think
Like
there
Ross.
was a Maver qualifier the next year that I think Zach Brown qualified off peg 6. Next to us when I was on 5 again, but we'll
In
not
the
mention that.
area.
Nice.
But yeah, it's one of those pegs, like drawing it straight away, it's like, oh yeah, you got a mega chance there. And it's like, and I've got there, I just remember getting to the peg and it was black with carp. It was like
boy.
Was it?
trout farm.
Here we go.
SD.
Won it, hadn't I? Now what, Bobby? Now won it, hadn't I?
It's one of them weird ones, especially that point with it being your first one. You sort of,
This is easy.
I like went for a bit of a walk and chat to like Jace Collins and a few others. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I was kind of scared.
Was it? This just
Proper
can't
nervous,
like-
Rich, yeah, nervous.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue, but it was one of those matches. Obviously, it started, and it was at the time going off the back of Jamie, where he was into all his proper girly elastics. And
Yeah.
I remember, what did I have? I'd have had that pink map.
Oh,
and
6 to 9.
I think you
Yeah.
were on
Yeah,
yellow.
hollow.
I think you were dead
Might have
light.
been
That's
yellow.
5 to 8, that's well.
013 hook lengths and stuff like that. And you just look back and it's just ridiculous the sort of gear you use it. It's all proper carp. It's like 6-8 pounders. And it was just, you gone in, first one slapped out, gone under straight away. And I was like, right, we're going for it. And I dread to think how hard I was like proper giving them stick at the time. And how I didn't lose any fish, but it's one of those where it's just all sort of worked out perfectly
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
first hour.
Yeah.
And it must have only been 40 minutes in because Coleman's it's fishery nets, and you've got I think, is it 50, 60
You've got
pound
silvers,
limit?
nets and cat nets and everything,
but
haven't you?
you get
yeah.
your 2 at the start, then you have to go for another. And I was going for a second net that had 50 pound in after about 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a chaos at first.
Where's Richard going? Where's Richard off?
But it's one because you see people going for nets. It's one of them like it's like decoy was back in the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
where you see someone like everyone just starts talking.
Yeah.
But it's kind of got calmed down a bit after that, and it's just been a like proper horrible 4 hours where you're trying to nick on bites. All the muggers have gone. You've not really set anything else up, and you're just like, oh, I hate this. You just sat there thinking, I've messed this up. I've messed this up.
Yeah.
And it was only like £90 in the end that won. And I think 80 odd pound was second. So it was like one
It's
or
a
two
low weight
fish.
for Coleman's, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
like
yeah.
proper low for that. But you just look back and the size of the fish, if you'd have lost one of those
That's it.
and you're pulling like hell on, I mean, 013 and the big old carp, and my bands were snapping all the time as well. You mentioned
just
that.
sold them.
Yes.
Because I think they were the ones from last year. I hadn't done any up. The amount of times I had to change my hook length because the bands were all
blooming hell.
perished.
They always
and
snapping in there,
It
yeah.
was just like, but yeah, and then came here and
I remember,
threw
like,
rubbish.
I can vividly remember because I was having a few beers in the garden, having a barbecue, and I got the phone call of Richard said, "I've won it, Anna." I says, "Oh, well done." I just not even twigging it was official, just thought it was a normal match, and then I put the phone down. And I'm like, he's been an official qualifier, and I rang you back. Then I'm like, wow, mate, that's amazing.
But-
I was absolutely chuffed to bits for you. First match, really, but like your first ever official qualifier, you went and qualified.
But it didn't click at the time. Like
No.
how it was like.
You
You
remember
knew-
how he rocked up in his picture? He was like, just so like, he had his like hat on, like, sort of like over here somewhere, just random joggy bottoms, like,
Yeah.
and another, like, yeah, boy, won it, Anna?
But yeah, you didn't you sort of realise it was a big deal, but you didn't realise how. I think at the time how long people have fish qualifiers for, and it's like since
Oh, mate.
the amount
What's
I've
happened
done-
since, Rich? I've gone on since, mate.
pretty much
Nice,
all downhill, isn't
But
it?
yeah, no,
Nice,
it's
eh?
right, though, isn't it? 1 out of 1. Won it, hadn't I?
Peaked too soon.
Oh, love it,
Silver
Rich.
specialist now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it,
Can't
mate.
catch
What he's
carp
gone
anymore.
with.
Single
It was,
sixes,
yeah,
isn't
I
it?
remember. I remember you phoning me before you'd weighed, and then you weighed in, and you were like, "I've had 90 pounds." Like, "Oh, that won't be any good, will it?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I think it's fished hard. It might be enough." I was like, "What?" "Yeah, it might be enough."
And
Next
that's
phone
it.
call, has anyone beat you? No, I've won it.
That's it, done it. That was you. That was the last one on air, wasn't it, for you when you won
Yeah.
it? 2017.
2017.
Yeah,
That was when you was over on wherever
my
you
side.
were. Yeah.
Over on my
I
side.
blanked doing the demos here, never had a bite.
Did you?
Oh, mate, it was horrendous.
Was that year?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I went probably to do the best peg and then the worst peg.
In the final.
Yeah, I'll give you worst peg nearly.
No, 15. No, it was 16. 15.
No, 'cause that was when there were 25 in.
that was when
Oh,
it.
was it?
Yeah, so anywhere from there to there was pretty
Oh,
the worst
yeah,
peg.
yeah.
So
I think I only beat 2 people in the final, and they were
that Will and Lee?
Will Ray's and Lee Carey.
Lee Carey, yeah, man.
who were all on the bad side with you.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
So yeah.
But
Jamie,
anyway,
out
Go
of
ahead,
your
Jay.
many,
One of your many.
flyers,
Right.
Are you just going to go through one, or are you going to go through a few?
there's a lot in there.
How much tape have you got, Richard?
Not
Well,
enough.
I'm not-
I'm going to mention 2, just
Oh,
because you
here
put
we
another
go.
in my head that
Go
was
on.
proper. Well, my main one. No, I'll go with the
Come on.
quick one first. When you were on about little ponds to yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I fished.
Oh, I know which one you're going to mention.
Do you?
Yes.
The one and only qualifier I think it ever had. And it was a Maybury qualifier, and it was at Southampton.
So
fishing.
where we were,
Oh,
not
by Larford.
You
Yeah.
literally had a lake to yourself.
And
didn't
I
you?
was on, I might get this wrong, I am flipping guessing now. I'm going to say it was Dragonfly,
right.
which has a main big lake,
Yeah.
and then these 2 little pokey ponds next to it that are like all in.
Are they like the wings on the dragonfly?
Oh,
No,
mate.
but there's like 2 little ponds.
I
I'm sure it's
remember this.
Dragonfly.
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure
was.
it is. And yeah, and it was Tom Edwards that was meant to be in this little pond with me, just
Yeah.
2 pegs, and he didn't turn up because Tom often doesn't.
Miles away though, isn't
That's
it?
when he was drunken Tom before he became
Yes.
professional. And yeah, I've had a pond to myself, an actual pond to myself. And it coincided with all the locals saying, oh yeah, just before they spawn, they all go into
They all
that
go in
little
there,
bit.
that's-
Honest, the other 2 ponds were like a little, like tingy green. Mine were like chocolate.
Oh,
And it's the same
Jay.
lake. It's
So,
like chocolate with
I remember hearing when you do that, I'm like, yes, get it, that's
It was
amazing.
right weird.
Brilliant.
But yeah, that was solid. I can't remember. I think I caught some shallow.
They're only like little caps, weren't they? But they're
No, some
immaculate.
proper ones.
Oh, did you have some big ones?
Yeah, some problem. It was just
Oh,
ridiculous.
what a
Southampton's one of them weird
I
ones
love
where
that venue.
if you've got top 5 out, you've gone too far.
Yeah, it is.
Everything lives like.
And they're all like the one that we did that challenge on. Was like they're all been tangoed. The mirrors like vivid orange colours, beautiful.
Yeah, they are
Proper
very
nice.
orangey. Yeah,
They do a lot like shallow fishing down the edge and weird stuff
it
like
is.
that. don't
It's
they?
that sort of venue,
Proper.
isn't it? But yeah, I'm not going to go in step with that one. We caught lots. And
You wouldn't. What was that? Golden Meal and May? That was a Maver, wasn't it?
That was
yeah.
a Maver, yeah.
I love
Pete,
Maver.
Pete Rice, he was second.
Right.
He
Okay.
had about £180. I can't remember, but yeah. Anyway,
Was
right.
he not pleasure fishing?
No, he wasn't pleasure. I had a pond
He was
to
in an
myself.
actual match. He was.
Honest to God, a pond to
Didn't you do
myself.
that at Baldings as well? Have a little random pond to yourself?
No, there were fews on that one. That was the last
It was
time I
like
won
4 or
fish
5
on
or
that.
6 pegs. I won
Yeah.
it on that. Yeah, I remember that.
Acorn at Baldings.
Yeah.
Is it Acorn? The little pleasure lake, there were like 5 of us on that. No, I had loads of company that day. I'm going to go best peg I've drawn, probably the best peg in the world.
You're going to go 1 at Glebe.
I'm going to go peg 1 at the Glebe.
Yeah, boy. I'd love to.
I'm going to go peg 1 at the Glebe. And it was weird. There was like, I remember being in the queue, because that's my thing, me. I'm mega, not nervous, anxious about draw. I hate drawing.
Yeah.
You know that? I proper,
Even like, leading up to everything.
it bothers
This
me beyond
weekend's
belief, the
gone.
drawing bit. Once that's out the way, let's play.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm never bothered on the bank. And I remember it was all the usual, stressing out, back of the bus.
Yeah.
And I was with Perry Stone, who's always at them sort of matches. I always like talking to Perry. And he's like, oh, what peg do you want? I said, oh, peg 1 would be nice. I was like about 4 or 5 pegs in. And Roy looked in the bag to see what was left. He like looked at me, give me a funny look. Like it's still in there, because you don't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
chaos. Unless you look at the boards, you wouldn't know. Oh,
Is he on?
I
You
could be on,
NJ,
Andrew.
lad. Smashing it now, lad.
So yeah, I'm on peg 1 on the Glebe. Oh,
Hey up.
You
Portion.
got a clip on that?
yeah,
He's
bit
on a
clip on there.
portion. Yeah, peg 1. Go ahead.
Peg 1 at Glebe, so I've drawn it, mega.
So
It-
what
it
time
is-
was it like proper sunny in with the muggy ones then, or was it like
It were it
'cause
were
went
late
a
on.
lot
I'm gonna say
feedery
it
then,
was-
didn't it? In that up the edge.
No. It wasn't no feedery then. I'm going to say it was August. It
So
was
did we catch it at that edge?
July, August, yeah. Like, I got peg. I see peg 1, mega peg. I did a U. I was tying hooks before the start.
Jay lad.
I swear to God, I
Nice,
remember
mate.
on a very few occasions, and I reckon I
Why?
was
Why?
tying.
Why wouldn't you have anything geared
I
up
don't
for
know.
that?
Can't remember.
Just because you thought you need to get angry, or
It'll have been in silly season where I'm fishing qualifier after qualifier after qualifier.
oh, so you wouldn't have anything left.
It'll have
Right,
just
yeah,
been
yeah.
back in day when I were a bit crazy and that.
Yeah, mum.
But then, yeah, so I remember tying me. I reckon I was tying 911s, either 18s or 16 911s to 012 or 014 I'll have been tying. Because that was back in day when I fished like that.
What?
Do you know what I mean? It'll have
On
been
the
light.
Glebe?
Yeah, it'll have been light. It
Flipping
won't have
heck.
been angry. I'll have been fishing 013, 014 at the most.
And what was
And
it like?
it was
Welling
with
in
them.
loads of casters like they used to do, or was it? Oh,
That was in map days.
pellets,
No, no casters. That was in map days. I remember using pink and white map. So it's light.
That's 6 and 9 or 62. That's light.
Whatever
Jay,
that was,
for
that's what I
there.
was using. But anyway,
Loving that, mate.
so Jord peg 1, mega,
Yeah.
mega.
Yeah.
Oh, he's another pretty one.
Another
I'm catching sexy ones
They're
now.
coming round now. The fit ones are coming round, mate.
The pretty gang are coming to
yeah,
see us.
boy. Mirror.
Yeah, beautiful one. He's like a leather. Is that a
Beautiful.
leather? That's nearly a leather, isn't it? I'm going to show him off. He's nearly a leather,
Oh,
isn't he?
yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
pretty one?
It's
Let me
got
get
a
a
few
look at
little
one
bobby
there.
scales under its belly. That's beautiful, that, mate. Go on.
What am I on about? Yeah, peg 1. So what have I done?
Fish dead
I've
light for a
literally-
good start, mate. I
yeah,
wouldn't
silly
even
light.
consider fishing that light.
Silly light. It was probably worth about £5 million looking at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, silly light.
You had a good 200 though, didn't you, I remember?
I'm not going to chuck that in again. I'm going to
Yeah,
leave
but-
that there.
You had a proper
Um,
weight.
I've caught some short. I remember catching short on pellets, and then I've fished. There used to be like a big clump of rushes. There was a tree
Yeah.
sticking out, and then there was like a clump of like weird, like
Is that
Indian
your left-hand
reeds
banking?
up left-hand bank, which is for a right-hander, perfect.
Yeah.
And I remember fishing on deck with pellets on them, but then they come up, they all started sucking against these weeds. So it was just like plopping a pellet. I caught a load
perfect,
on that,
mate,
but it was
innit?
just one bung. It was just one of them stupid days when you just catch. It was mega. In fact, no, it wasn't. It was carnage for 4 hours, and then they just go. Because you just
'Cause you've clattered
empty
them
your
all.
peg pretty much.
And
yeah.
that's the trouble with end pegs, it can be, innit? That you can't draw them from anywhere once you've clattered them a
But
bit.
I was a bit crap.
But
on
you'd had
rod
job
fishing
done
then as
after
well.
like 2 hours, mate.
It was carnage.
You had a big weight. Was
really
it
good.
like 280 something?
I think
you
I
had
had
a big weight.
240. I remember Pete Upton
240.
was second with 170 off Uglies.
Right, okay. Yeah.
I'm sure I had
Well,
240.
so it's like 3 fish in there, isn't it?
Yeah, something.
Massive, aren't they?
That's when they were all big uns on there
Loving
in them
that,
days
mate.
as well. It's a bit different now. But yeah, I'd say that's probably my best. I think I mugged a few late as well. But yeah, that
You could
was-
literally just carry on with yours, OJ, couldn't you?
I could go a lot. So time think of another one just to lengthen
No,
out.
mate,
Another
don't.
silly
No,
peg
don't.
what I've had.
My bum's
This one was a
aching.
bit
Come on.
special. I'd say this one was the easiest
Oh, what
peg I
about the
ever had.
barber one over there?
That's
Yeah.
what I just said.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
That was the easiest match I've won in my life.
I love that, mate.
Easiest.
For that amount of money as well, for it to be like that kind of match for you.
Mate, I wish that was now. But this is the first fish show we're on, about 2013 fish show when I
Yeah.
had, what did I have, 68 kilo.
68 kilo, yeah.
And if I could have that match now,
You'd
I'd
you
catch 350
more.
pounds.
Is that the one where you,
Oh, with the
was that your
carps
first
in it?
one?
Everything. First fish
With the
show. I won.
barbels.
I
and
loved
like,
it where you had the interview kind of halfway, where they've got you mic'd up
Yeah,
and
yeah. No,
you were
won it.
about
you were like
50 kilos
40
clear.
kilo clear or something.
Is
Yeah.
that-
Oh, I might win it.
Like dead
No.
nervous and like, oh,
But it was
I just
then.
need to catch the odd fish. I don't know if I'm going to win it. It's like,
That was the biggest
Abe,
margin for ages, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
20
it was
kilos
the
second.
biggest ever until Harry beat
Harry
it
beat it
this
last
year.
year, yeah,
Harry's
yeah.
had it. My record thing.
Plumbing that, mate.
But yeah, imagine that now. That's before we knew how to mug carp.
Yeah.
And there were carp everywhere that day,
And
just
there was-
swimming, V's
uh,
everywhere.
No one thought there was a load of barbel in. You had a nest
No
of
one
them.
thought there was any
Was it
left.
Emma or something? Who
Yeah,
like
we
just
sat
said, like,
over
have a
there.
go.
Yeah,
I remember.
quick go on them, have some cast shot, one a shot.
Oh,
and then
mate.
they put a pump in, because they didn't have the aerator, then they put a pump, either pumping water, big massive orange pump they used to have on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, the generator. Yeah.
That had been over there, so all the barbel had been where this pump was. It was just easiest match I've ever won.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
But yeah, that was a nice, more cheery one after the sponsorship angriness, wasn't it?
Yes, no, I like that.
have
Yeah,
you
I
calmed
like
down
Top
now,
Melon.
Andrew?
It's calm
I've
down.
got,
now,
mate,
isn't
I'm
it?
calm now, yeah. I'm going to have a fish now and catch me a big carps, and that's it. Tea time.
Yeah, I like that. That was a nice, reminiscing,
Yeah,
cheery way
right.
to finish on.
But yeah, if
Lovely.
anyone's got any suggestions on topics
Yeah,
or questions,
topics would be nice,
and
yeah. Put some
all that
suggestions
sort of
out
thing,
there.
leave them in the comments. And
Yeah,
we
we'll have
might
a
do
chat.
them.
Oh, yes, love that. You, Ed. Bum's hurting.